I've pretty much done everything that a man wants to do. Make the money, smash the chicks, fly private jet, live in the mansion, doing coke in tits, asses in a mega yacht, threesomes, foursomes with tens. One of them, my wife, didn't enjoy anything.
Why?
I was empty, bro. I enjoy more riding my bicycle with my wife to grab a coffee, which cost me like $6. People think you made it, right? Life doesn't have a meaning if I'm not giving a meaning to other people's life.
Llados, can you introduce yourself as if someone were introducing you?
Oh, we're live already?
Yeah,
let's
jump right in.
I'm just a normal guy, bro. Normal guy. Mid-class family, not poor, not rich. My dad worked his ass off. When I was probably like 16, my dad went, kind of broke. He was struggling to pay even light. We were not living like in a normal house, but he was struggling. So, I went through many, many jobs. I washed dishes, I did construction. I was a stripper. Rock bottom was probably like $50 in my bank account. This was 9 years ago. 9 years ago, I had $50 in my bank account. Also nearly overdosed in cocaine. I nearly died in motorcycle accidents several times. I nearly fuck up my health with steroids. Like Bugatti. I was.
Were you into bodybuilding?
I did
doing
2
bodybuilding
comps,
shows?
men's physique, and also I don't even remember the name. Either way, I've gone through so much stuff, and basically I've chased money for so long. When I was 20, I was just tired of chasing money. I did e-commerce, drop shipping, everything. Buy and sell. And when I was 20, I was just tired, and I dropped out of college. In 4th, I was studying journalism. My dad forced me to do that, that's what they knew. And then I just got tired, bro. So I used to race motorcycles when we were a kid. My dad put all his money there. It was our dream. It was amazing experiences, but that's what we were in economic, trouble. And basically when I was 20, I was just fed up of everything, bro. Like, I was doing drugs. I had an existential crisis. I was like working. I was like, fuck, man, this is life. Like, I'm going to like work a job now, like for the rest of my life. And I couldn't even pay for my own house. I was living with my parents, It was like, this can't be this. So I was like, I'm not going to do this. So I signed up to the gym, and that gave me a purpose. I was like, I don't know if you guys know this guy called Cease. At that time I saw him, I'm like, holy shit, you can look like that. And, I started hitting the gym. I was like, I'm just going to be a personal trainer. So I just sold my car, like probably like $5K. I had like $2-3K in savings. I bought a ticket. I bought a student visa, and I just flew to Australia.
From
like,
where? Where
from
were you?
Spain.
Yeah, because you grew up in Spain, right?
Yeah, this is like the longest flight you can take. It's like 32 hours flight. It's like 3 flights.
Why Australia?
Because I just had to do something crazy. I just had to I just had to leave that spot, bro. My dad was struggling. I was like, I have to make it. And I just left everything. When I go to Australia, I had a bag and I had $500. Like, I couldn't even fly back because the flight back was like 1.5K. So I just had for a few days, and I just made it happen. It's always been that way. It's like there was only one option. Even today, sometimes like when I bought a Bugatti, I was just like too comfortable, making too much money. I just don't feel good when I feel comfortable. So I was like, I'll just buy a Bugatti,
Kind of like push yourself.
Yeah.
So you go to Australia, you start becoming a trainer. Talk a little bit more about that. I want context for the audience.
And I love your questions because you're gonna do good questions.
Yeah, because where you came from to where you are. You get to Australia. Talk a little bit more about what it. So
Australia,
there.
it's like a student visa where I study Cert 3 and Cert 4 in fitness, which is like basically your certification. It's 2 years. So through the visa, I can live there, right? So I was paying quarterly. So I was probably I was working to pay for it, and that's how I did my certification. I was like a year and a half into it. I was doing like 2-3 jobs also in the side to just make money, and like I was constantly looking for a job as a personal trainer, although you can't work without a title, right? But I found this place, small gym. At this time, I've already been building for like 2 years YouTube. But I opened YouTube, bro, because I just opened YouTube because I had no friends. When I joined the gym, my friends, they lasted 3 weeks, they won the most, So I'm like, I'm not gonna go back and hang out with these guys because they just want to do drugs and drink. So I was alone, So basically, I didn't hang out with my friends that did video games. I didn't hang out with my friends that did parties. So I was basically alone. So I like, oh shit, I found out C's on YouTube, and I was like, fuck, I'm gonna also do videos. Like meet people in the fitness. So I just did videos because I liked it. I didn't never thought I could make money with that. Like I was
What year was this?
13 years ago.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
So you're starting on YouTube like 2011.
Yeah, something like
That's
that.
like that's actually
You
pretty
could look
early.
in my channel. I am Llados. If you look, you go the latest video and you could check it out. I even think I had a channel previous that, bro. I did videos on YouTube for 6 years, making no money, and probably every day nearly just because I loved it. So I never had a plan. Like I didn't have a structure, a business, nothing. I just had heart and passion, and I kept going. So that you asked me, I saw this small gym. This trainer just left on holidays like last minute. Trainer been like 3 years. Had like a packed schedule. Like Monday to Sunday, for like 8 clients a day. Probably making 100 to 150 per session because in Australia they pay good and it was a good paying area. So this guy was making big money and like he left like suddenly. It was an emergency and he was from Spain actually. Pretty big coincidence, right? So I did the interview. I smashed it. The guy loved me. He's like, okay, you're hired. I'm at the end. It's like, okay, just one little problem. It's like I have like half a year to finish my certification, but so the guy ended up paying me cash. So from one day having no job in fitness to next day having like a full backed up schedule. But I was ready. I've been working for years and I was just like, I knew everything. So first day I literally killed those guys. Like they just hated me, bro. Everyone complained to the owner. It's like, this guy is crazy. I don't want to train with him again. So next day I go to
like you're the clients.
Oh
like
yeah,
you're really pushing the
I
clients.
destroyed them. Like I was like, how long you been training with this trainer? It's like 3 years. Like, why are you still fat? Like it doesn't make any sense. Like, literally like that. These guys hated me, literally.
Where does that attitude come from?
I always strive to be the best. If I step into a room, I'm the best. Like, it's not like, it's just, I have to be the best. I have to have the best watch, the best wife, the best car. It's just like my AD, how you say ADN or my genes, I've always wanted to be the best. Like, it's just something, since I was a little kid, I'm very competitive, So for me, it's like, why you pay a trainer to get in shape, right? So that's my job, I gotta do the best. So I literally killed those guys. Everyone complained. The next day, the owner was like, dude, you can't do this. It's like, what do you mean? It's like, you can't kill this guy. It's like, why did you hire me for? It's like, you hired me to get them in shape, right? I'm gonna do that. It's like, well, you can't do this. Like, I'm actually like, imagine like I have no job and this guy gave me the dream job. I'm actually, I'm doing this, So I actually went my way, and 4 weeks after, everyone was like crying of happiness. This guy's lost 3 kilos. This guy had gained confidence. I went from being hated to being loved in a month. So when that guy came back, no one wanted to go back with him, bro. So I literally went from like nothing to doing 15, 20K a month.
Wow. I got as an in-person trainer.
Yeah. I got all the clients from like he built for 3-4 years.
Wow. Okay, so you're at 15, 20K a month.
But that took me like a year and a half in Australia.
Yeah.
And I struggled so much there, bro. There was a point, I just got kicked out of where I was living and I had nowhere to go. I thought I was gonna, I don't know where I was gonna stay. At that point, I had $50 in my bank account because I spent all my money in a trainer for a competition, like 2K. I spent all my money in all the steroids, everything. I just was not thinking, and I just got left with no money. So, but yeah, it was. I mean, Australia is my best memories is when I was broke, bro. People think being rich is like. I mean, the best thing is just remembering when I'm broke. Yeah. Like I'm yesterday night I was going dinner with my wife in the Bugatti and just speaking about when we were broke. Like, it's just the best.
When did you meet your wife? Was it at that point? Did you meet her in Australia?
When I came to the US, so Australia, basically I was 2 years there. I went from being like, in Spain, like my dad was complaining about the lights, bro. Like, turn off the lights. That was the situation. So I go from that. I mean, as I say, I don't come from a poor family, but my dad, just went broke. So basically you just live in a normal house top, but like now you can fucking do nothing, So it's basically like, holy shit, we're gonna have to like move to like, So I go from that to that in 2 years, but I'm still not happy. I still feel like I'm alone. I feel I don't feel good because I didn't really have any, good connection with anyone there. I'm just making money, but I can stop working because I stopped making the money, right? I know that I got this job because this guy left on holidays and that happened, right? So I couldn't travel. I started to hate the gym, bro. The thing that I loved, I started to hate it because I was like counting reps, pushing people. It just became like a job. Like I felt again like I was in a job. You know what I'm saying? Like doing the same thing again and again. And that's the point where I'm like, holy shit, like money does actually not bring happiness. You know what I'm saying? I was making 15, 20 grand a month, blowing everything stupid stuff, chicks, parties, bikes, I was not really like going anywhere,
And most people won't realize that because they never will get rich.
Yeah, exactly.
But when you're poor, there's other things going on, and you think once I make money, you'll be happy. And then once you actually get it, you start going through that. I went through the same thing.
Yeah, bro. Only people that have gone through it can understand it. That's how when people say, when they talk about money and happiness, it's like, okay, have you been broke and have you been rich? So because you can't really talk about it if you haven't experienced it, right? So I agree with that, bro. For me, it's way easier to be happy when you're broke than when you're rich. Because as you say, money fixes money problems, but it doesn't fix internal problems. Actually, if you're not really well balanced, like your habits, your relationships, your health, and you add money, you're actually messing everything up. Because it's making you lazier, it's making you more comfortable. Money makes you comfortable. That's why when I just make too much money, I'll just buy whatever and just like I just don't want to have a lot of money, bro. In the bank, it keeps me like it gets you like comfortable. It gets you lazy. That's why me myself, I wake up every day at 3:30 a.m. every day. Like I don't drink, I don't party, I don't do drugs. I train twice a day. I just track my macros. I just follow a very, very strict plan because if I deviate from there, well, you've seen me like yachts, chicks. I left the drugs like probably like 2 years and a half ago, but I left drugs, but I took out one vice to get another one, which is women. I upped on the women, right? So it's just for me, it's about learning how to live. Is what I tell everyone. You guys need to learn how to live. Like Seneca said, the hardest part in life is actually learning how to live. It's not making money. For me, I've pretty much done everything that a man wants to do. Make the money, smash the chicks, fly private jet, buy all the whips that are available, up to Bugatti, like live in the mansion, like, the mega yachts. What else does a man want to do? The drugs, doing coke in tits, asses in a mega yacht. Like, threesomes, foursomes with tens. It's not like fives, fours. It's like, no, 10, 10, 10, 10. One of them, my wife, like actually happy and having fun. So I've never seen anyone do that, So it happens like, you just like, so what now? It's like, what? Like, just like, for me, I just had to look up so much to God. And I'm just like, I don't even have I don't have a will. My will is God. Like, whatever he tells me, I do. Like, I don't even like have an opinion. Like, if he tells me like drop women, I just dropped it as soon as I really saw it clear, So because if I there's no other thing to do. People actually have to fulfill their desires, like selfishly. When they do that, you understand that you gotta have to start to act selfishly, towards other people. Because for me, life doesn't have a meaning if I'm not like giving a meaning to other people's life,
So we're going to get more into that later. I want to ask two questions right now. You have a lot of tattoos.
Yeah.
Some people might not be able to see it. Do those have any meaning? When did you start getting
all
those?
of them have a meaning, bro. Like, I literally have, this is Jesus Christ. He saved me. This is my wife. This is my wife. I have my wife like probably 5 times. This is my wife when she's mad, she has a gun. This is my wife, Like, all the tattoos I have a meaning. This is, a skull and the pistons of a motorcycle, meaning like I risked my life so many times in a motorcycle. I don't remember how many times I've been unconscious by motorcycle accidents, because I used to race. So that's probably why I don't have fear, because motorcycle racers, they don't have fear, bro. Driving cars, you don't have to have fear, but motorcycle is a whole different story, bro. Like, you know, I've crashed at, I don't know in miles, it's probably like 200, it's probably 205 miles per hour. I've crashed in a motorcycle. I've literally rear-ended a guy. I flew. I don't remember anything, of course. I just wake up. Like when you crash that hard, you don't remember anything because you get unconscious. So sometimes when you wake up, it just can be brain damages, you know. You don't know. It's like fighters, you know, if they get unconscious. So I've got unconscious many times. So for me, the fear of like death is kind of like gone, you know. So that's why I don't care just fucking telling the camera whatever, like the fuck is gonna happen, you know. Like it's just like people, the highest actually vibration is authenticity, you know. You can really tell when someone is authentic. Like you can maybe agree with him or not agree, but he's being authentic. You know?
I found the people I respect the most are not usually I always agree with. It's that it's almost what you're talking about. They seem so certain that what they're doing is the right way to the point where you think maybe I'm wrong, right? And it's not because they're trying to tell you you're wrong. It's just they seem so certain the way they're living their life. And those are actually the people I respect the most. I do see that. That's how I kind of perceive you, is the way you're living is how you think you should live.
Yeah.
And I think that's
and
great.
Respecting everyone, because, you know, if you tell me, oh, I drink, well, okay, well, I would like, if you ask me, like, what do you think? It's like, I mean, you will go on to another level, you stop drinking, but I'm not going to be like, you should not drink.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
it's you. You know?
I think I've seen you in your content. You'll say, you know, you'll make comments like, "Hey, I don't think you should do that. You shouldn't have a belly, whatever." And people get mad, but you're like, "But you're in my world." Like,
yeah,
so
exactly.
You're coming to me.
People
it's
come
like,
to my Instagram to listen to me, and I'm not gonna, you know, say something just because I don't want to hurt your feelings. You know, actually real friends are gonna tell you the truth. You know, they say real love is truth. You know, truth ain't lies. So when I talk about the belly, you know, it's kind of like I put the perspective so people understand it. When I talk about from on a spiritual point of view. I don't talk from like a worldview, you know. So with the world sees a belly, I see different. I see that God gifted you a body to experience this life, and I see it as like this is just a test, bro. You know, we're probably like fucked up there, so he brought us here. Say, okay, we'll see what you can do. So he rented us a body and a brain and a mind, you know, and put us a soul, you know, body, mind, soul. So he gifted you this. What are you a good person if I give you a gift and you start smashing it? Is that okay?
No,
right? You should treat a gift right. It's a gift, right? You should treat it respectfully. That's your body. So you're actually intoxicating it and you overeating, so you're just making it bad. You know, it's not functioning correctly. Your blood starts to go slower. You know, there's fat, so you start to go slower. So I see this like spiritually, that's disrespectful for a creator. So I'm like, bro, you have to stop doing that because he's not gonna like bless you. You know, like people's like, they're actually, they cannot like, if you don't respect yourself, no one's gonna respect you. You know, like if you were here sitting and you were fat and smelling bad, I'll be like, fuck, bro, I don't want to be sitting here. You know, like, but yeah, everyone will think that, but people will not say it. Say, what the fuck? Like, I have VIP students. Sometimes I hang out with them. You know, I don't include hanging out with me, my VIP students. Those are my black room. They hang out, but my black room is like, I gotta really like, if I don't want to hang out with you, you're not coming in. You know, people want to pay me $40K. I'm like, nah, because I don't want to hang out with you, bro. You know, like, so, you know, I've hung out with VIPs. I'm like, bro, like, you smell bad. Just shower or put some fucking shit, or just like make sure you hit your macros. But I'm saying it in a way to help him. No one tells him. People, I had a girl beside, and the girl was kind of like going sideways. She was going sideways because it smelled bad. So I'm like, bro, you need to fix this. Like, and the guy said, okay, well, yeah. He actually realized he's fixing it. Who's better? The guy that actually tells you so you can fix that, because maybe you're not conscious you smell bad because you come into a room and it smells bad and it smells bad at the start. But when you've been one day in that room, it smells normal.
Yeah.
So you kind of don't know you smell bad. Yeah. No one is telling you. So really no one cares about you.
That's how I prefer it. I just rather people be a straight shooter because I don't like to guess, and I feel that usually helps. So you go from Australia, you come to the States. When did you make this transition from an in-person trainer to working online?
Yeah. So that was kind of like, people think that's fast, but that's pretty slow. So it took me like 6 years of posting on YouTube to make $300 in a month, you know? And
It gives me hope.
yeah,
Because sometimes I think people, they think, oh, it's been a year.
yeah,
And you're over here
the fuck,
going,
bro,
it
like,
took me 6 years
it
to
took me
get
6 years to do
$300.
$300. Yeah.
That's crazy, especially
Yeah.
with where your social media is at now.
Yeah, but people, they just want things so fast. The reason why people do it so fast nowadays is because they leverage a personal brand like mine. I've been 13 years building a personal brand. They literally took my Instagrams away like a few weeks ago.
Oh,
So
really?
like, yeah, I had 2 Instagrams, so 2.2 million followers. Took them away, but I'm still doing the same shit. And I haven't even felt anything because my people don't forget me. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine you've been going 12 years to a gym and suddenly like you go to that gym and it's not there. Like, are you just like gonna, oh, it's not there, I'll just fucking sign up to another one. Say, no, what the fuck's the gym? You know, like I want to go to that gym, right? So you'll find out where it is. So it's same stuff, you know? But when someone comes into like this ecosystem and, you know, they put the work and you're like, hey, I'm proud of this guy. It's like, boom. You know, that's the power. That's why I got students doing crazy stuff. I mean, bro, I had students in starting their Instagram 1 year, they bought a Lambo cash. That's mind blowing in Spain, you know. But that's because of that. But people just have like, you know, they have like they're expecting stuff that is not even real. That's why they always I don't know how you say in English. They get discouraged.
Yeah.
Because they think they're gonna just kill it in
gonna
like
happen
months.
immediately. Yeah.
It took me 6 years to make $300, and then the next 2 years I was a millionaire. It compounds. But if you see any successful person, I was actually reading a guy that has a Bugatti also, and he was saying it took him like 8 years to do like I don't know how much, like maybe 200K in a year. Then the next 2 years he went to like 2 million. Then the next, you know what I'm saying? The compound,
100%.
it gets like it just goes like
Builds.
that. Like you start like this, and then every time it's like it goes faster, you know. As long as you're doing stuff right, you're treating people right, you know. But it's how it works.
So you started doing online. You did that for how many years? And then now you're really doing more business coaching, which is it's actually a similar path to me.
Yeah. So everything kind of was like natural. Let's say nowadays people just want to be a mentor, like you know, like people say like, oh, life coach, and like. Fuck life coach, bro. Like a life coach, I don't even call myself a life coach, but I'm a life coach right now because I dominate all the areas of life. A life coach should be able to help you in life, right? If it's like spiritual, mental, physical, business, right? Like that's a life coach. You know, I feel like a life coach is the highest, you know, coach that has dominated everything. But as you say, studied in person. And when I moved back to Spain, I saw that everything was the same shit, bro. I went 2 years in Australia, killed it, and my friends were doing the same shit. Everything was the same. Like, bro, it was like if they had a stop. Like, they stopped, and I was like, fast forward, like, times 100. So I was there, I'm like, instantly, like, 1 week, I'm like, I'm leaving. And my parents are like, what the hell are you leaving? You said you, like, missed us. I'm like, yeah, but, like, I already saw you. I'm out, you know? Like, I'm going to the U.S., and my mom is like, but you can't do that. I mean, you don't have a visa. I'm like, I'll figure it out. Like, I'll just get a plane, you know? I just got on a plane and left with the bag again, and like probably like 3K or 2K. And I went to Santa Monica in a hostel. I was staying in a hostel. I lived for 1 month in a hostel. I had a bag and a bunk bed. I have videos there in the hostel.
I've seen those.
And I just bought a $300 scooter. That's where I met my wife. I met my wife and I had a scooter, and I was so ashamed. I didn't even tell her I was living in a hostel where I had a scooter. So I just had to do it real fast, and I moved in a 1 bedroom, and I got like a Suzuki, like a 600. And that's why I met her. She would pick me up in her Honda. Like, I didn't have a car.
So when did you start? Like, when did the success start happening to the point it is now? Like,
Yeah. So when I go to the US, obviously I stopped my in-person training. When I got to the US, I got a job in a tin shop. I didn't have a job. I met a friend that I followed for years in Instagram. We were in Venice Beach. I was just in Craigslist looking for jobs. And at that time, I was probably making like $1,000 to $2,000 a month as an online coach, you know. But this has been building from like probably like 4, 5, 6 years. Okay, exactly. I don't remember. So it was not enough to live, you know, in LA. Like, you don't live with that money, right? So I got that job. And when I got that job, I also started working as a stripper in West Hollywood. I met this guy in the gym. It's like, holy shit, bro, you gotta like come work with me as a stripper. I'm like, yeah, I used to strip in Australia also. Let's do it. It's like, okay, like this is for gays. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. I'm like, I ain't doing that shit. It's like, no, but it's like a lot of straight guys do it. Just go there. It's you do stripper. They don't. It's nothing weird. So I started doing that. I was making also good money with that. The tin shop, and then the online coaches started to pick up. So I was probably making like 3-4K. And between that, I dropped the tin shop. So I was doing only stripper like a few nights, and I focused on the online coaching. I started really like checking a little bit about like mentors and stuff like that. At that time, I didn't even know what it was, because I had a friend. He had a building and he would drive a Maserati, a red Maserati. I'm like, dude, this guy is killing it, right? I'm like, how the hell did you learn that, bro? He was Spanish. Like my uncle was my mentor. I'm like, what do you mean mentor? That was the first time I heard that word. And he's like, yeah, mentor, like, it's like my teacher. It's like, so what do you mean teacher? Because I had teachers. It's like, yeah, but like, so a mentor's a teacher with money? I'm like, yeah. It's like, holy shit, I've been going to the wrong teachers all the time, right? So actually, a mentor's like someone that has or does what you want to do, and he teaches you, right? I'm like, oh shit. So I get hooked up on that. So I start looking, I see Gary Vee, and I start seeing a little bit, and I start like looking a little bit. So I start digging, and I'm like, offer stuff like that. So I'm like, and I see these phrases. I remember like, you gotta build an offer that's like something like they can say no, right? You gotta. I'm like, you see my offer. I'm like, personalized workout program. I was like, this, like everyone has the same shit, like this is just like, I don't even want to buy it. It just sounds so boring. So I'm like, maybe I got to change this, right? So my mind is like, holy shit, 1 second. Let me just like, so I'm saying personalized workout program, this, that. It sounds like a lot of work, So I'm like, why do they do this? Because they want this, right? And they want the lifestyle. Like, I kind of switch it around, and I'm like, okay, I'll just lifestyle. I was the first like coach in the Spanish industry. I'm the first coach to do money. Like there's no one has ever done like money online in coaching in Spain, South America. Like no one.
Is it that new even now?
Yeah, I mean, bro, like 2018, I bought the Lambo, the Huracan. I bought it. I was already a millionaire there. Bro, like I was just like, there was no one. Wow. Like, it's like me and like no one else doing money as because I was learning from people in the US.
Yeah.
Like at that time, you probably like the first online coaches were doing money.
It's still new.
Still,
I mean, it really
was new
is.
still
It's
in the US.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like there with the English people, but in Spanish.
Yeah.
So that was how. So when I moved to US, I started to focus on that. I changed the offer. And I upped also the content, and it started to pick up. I went to like, I don't know, 8, 10K, 15K. So I was like, holy shit. So I was making really good. I was making kind of the money I was making with the gym, but online. So now I focused completely in that. I remember I invested in an app, so I automated everything. That scaled me, but I kind of like, I fucked it up because I was coaching everyone one-on-one, but I could not handle the volume.
Of course.
So obviously the app helped me scale, but then like I got a team, so they were doing everything. So I was out of it. So I started making money. I was, probably like I was about to hit like 6 figures a month, at that time. But, it kind of like stagnated there. I was there stagnated for a few years. And I started, drinking, doing drugs. So I was, you get bored. I was just chest workout, bicep workout. So again, I was just like, what the fuck is this? Like I was again like in that like same spot as a personal, you know what I'm saying? Personal training, same spot as like when I was an employee. I was like, but now with a Rolex and a Huracan and my wife, and like, what was the difference? At the end of the day, it was the same shit, So that was kind of like, I was destroying myself, I was like, outside of my people. A team was handling it. I was doing a lot of drugs. That's when I started like, messing with other chicks and my wife. We started doing that. And that was just like down. I was in the strip clubs, all night doing cocaine, all that stuff. And it got to a point where I had a motorcycle accident and also nearly an overdose. So I was kind of like very close, and very close. And it was like a wake up call, And I did that. And I just one day called the team. It's like, it's over. Like, bam, I just cut it like straight. When I do stuff, I'm like that way. I'm like, I don't ask anyone. It's like, that's it. I'm back to doing everything. I realized that, like, kind of like that time I was not really connected to God, but I was listening to my conscience was telling me, do that. So I did that.
Was it because you weren't working and so you were worried about that? You had too much free time, so you're bullshitting? Is that why?
So you have too much free time, so you get bored, bro. People need to stay busy. You need to stay working. You need to stay active because if you don't do anything, you just get bored.
Yeah.
And when you're bored, you start to desire shit, like eating, wanking, like doing a fucking, masturbating, porn, chicks, clubs, drugs. That's when you're bored. Like when you have like a crazy day of work packed up with stuff, this, that, you don't have time to do that
Right.
shit.
You don't have time to think about
it. So, actually God created us to work, to help, and to just suffer. Like that's how we are made. We're made to do that. It's like you buy a laptop and you put it underwater. Like it's not made to do that, bro. Like you don't buy a laptop and put it underwater, but like people are just doing that with their bodies, and they think they don't understand that all that stuff, TV, overeating, eating shit, drugs, smoking, parties, all that stuff is the fucking devil. It's like it's taking you to death. If you keep doing that, you'll die soon. You'll be depressed. You'll be alone. You'll be surrounded by fake people. I mean, you got all these friends in the club, right? Those are no friends, bro. When you have a problem, those guys don't exist. When you have a problem and you have a real friend, he'll help you out. But yeah, that was kind of my downfall. And that was like a wake-up call. Around that time is when I saw Wes. I saw Wes, I'm like,
What's that, like a couple of years ago?
Nearly 3 years ago. Something like that. So I saw Wes and I'm like, wait a minute. Like I was probably like, I don't know, like $500,000 house I was living, like I had a Huracan, I had a Rolex and about it, and I was traveling and, doing drugs, whatever. And I saw Wes, I'm like, dude, this guy's like a supercross, like a fucking penthouse, like he's flying jet. I'm like, wait a minute, like how the hell? And I was actually, I watch a lot. I'm very good observing like what he does. I'm like, this guy looks legit. It's the first guy I see that actually looks like, because everything that he was saying is like, everything makes sense, But he was like, no party, no drugs. He wakes up super early. I'm like, so I'm like sad to see. Like, so I got it. After a few weeks of following him, I signed out to his elite coaching. Jump on the call and basically tell him everything. He's like, bro, you just gotta like wake up at 5, quit drugs, and go for it. I'm like, done. Like just through the drugs, did that, and like, bro, my life changed completely, bro. Because now it's, I stopped all the distractions, all the party, all the drugs. I've stopped seeing all this fake, circle, that was just around drugs and party. So I isolated myself and I just grew so much, bro. And then I moved to Miami.
When does stuff start taking off? Because I know you did that stuff with Wes. Things to me on the outside look like they've progressed even more. Now you're doing more life coaching or business coaching, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got a million cars, you got these big houses. I mean, what was that really all the change? It was just more focus.
It's been. I mean, it's not. It's been a long journey. In the sense, like it took me like probably like 6 years to get it started, 2 years to build it good, and then big change was also when I started going back with my people. So I would coach and video coach with them, and that went to another level. I started making like really good money, like probably like an Aventador per month, wow. Basically money, and that still was in the verge of like leaving drugs, and then it always evolves. I started as a fitness trainer. Then when I became a millionaire as a fitness coach, I never thought that you could teach that. It just, people would blast my DMs. Like, hey, bro,
that's actually,
I want to do that. I'm like,
that's what happened
bro,
to me.
I'll get you in shape. I'm not going to teach you how to be a coach. That's me. It's like, they'll blast me, bro. Like, but literally, if I get 100 DMs, like 60, 70 was that. So it was getting to a point I was getting pissed. So it was annoying, but actually, I've always wanted to give people what they wanted. So I kind of like, I also at that time, I was over doing fitness content. I was over like a chest workout. I would tell my wife, hey, let's go film. What are you going to film? It's like a chest workout. It's like, but I filmed that 3 days ago. And I will get mad at her, like, oh, but I gotta film another one. So I'd be like, why you gotta film another one? Like, you did it 3 days ago, and she was right, you know? So I was tired. So I started talking more about like personal development, the business side of it, you know, like in my social media, in my Instagram, in my YouTube. So that's what I kind of like wanted to do. So people would love it. The feedback was like, oh yeah, I love it. Like, but then my income started going down. I'm like, oh shit, what a minute. I'm talking about business, and my business is actually training people, and I'm not talking about that. So it's normal. My income started to going down. So what I did is like I created a new Instagram and a new YouTube and said, hey, here I'm gonna talk about, you know, being a coach, and here is fitness. So for like a year, literally, I didn't even think about making money of it. I just was helping people to do that for over a year. YouTube videos, Instagram, and people would start DMing me like, bro, I'm doing like 2K, 3K a month, just listening to your videos. And I was like, this is nuts, bro. I mean, this is crazy, you know? And people, again, they'll blast me in my Instagram of business, bro, you gotta do a course. You gotta do a course. You gotta do a course. I'm like, yeah, but like you gotta do a course where like everything is like, you know, structured, like fuck it, so I'll do it. So it took me like, I put a lot of work in that course. I still sell it. It's an amazing course to get someone from like nothing to being a coach and making their first 10K, whatever. I've a lot of people have done it through that course. I filmed it for like around 6 months, the course.
Wow.
And I filmed it with the fucking camera. My wife was cooking in the background. You could hear the fucking pan. People were like, I can hear, shut the fuck up, man. You know what I'm saying? Like literally the course is still like that. I haven't updated shit, bro. Like it's pure fucking raw shit with my wife cooking in the back, you know, like literally. So I did that, launched it, bro. I mean, at that time, probably like the first day I did 100K. That was for me. I mean, that was probably what I was making in a good month, you know, or something like this. I was like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know, that course it was just a single course. I sold it at the start for $300. Then I put it to $600, which is very cheap, but I put it like that. Sold a lot of that. That kept going from like 2020 to 2022. I became a millionaire in 2018. So after like 2 years, I launched the course. I already had a Lambo, all this. I bought it cash. Not like just these people that just fake everything. It was real shit. The course was like how I did it, was my experience, my mistakes, everything. So 2 years after, people were saying, well, like, bro, we need more. So I started doing calls, like weekly calls to back that up. So I launched a coaching, which like $50 to start a month, and I went to 100. It was like just every week a call, and I put everyone there. And that took off, bro. So because everyone that did that course, there was people doing, you know, 10K, 20K a month, only with the course. No support, nothing. They will send me questions like, bro, I sold it dirt cheap. Like, fucking, I'm not gonna like just be helping you, bro. You know, like I already gave you all guys my secrets to everything. You guys, what the fuck? You guys want more, bro? You know, like in that point, I was not looking at it as like a business. I was still like a fitness coach. You know, I was cool that I helped them do money. I created myself like a lot of like, you know, other people that do the same shit, but I didn't care because something was telling me in my mind, do it. I was always. My dad told me when I was doing that course, like, are you sure? Like, don't do this? Because, I mean, they're going to, like, you know, you're the only one doing this. If you help them, now you're going to have all these people. It's like, Dad, something is telling me I have to do it. At that time, I don't know anything. I'm not connected to God or anything. So I just do that shit. So when 2022, I started doing coaching, that kicked off. And it got to a point where, like, I just stopped doing the fitness coaching. You know, I stopped doing it. But then this happened. I focused only on the business and helping them how to do all the stuff. But I realized people were like fat, like we're just doing drugs with shit like that. I'm like, yeah, this can't be true. So I actually incorporated fitness again back. So no, but I just want to make money. Like, shut the fuck up. You're gonna be in shape, or you don't work with me because you're not gonna make money being a fat chub. You know, so like that was mandatory. You know, fitness. So that's where I took it to another level. You know, so I started having people with like crazy results, you know, like people doing like 50K a month, 100K a month, like my students. I was like so proud of that shit. I'm like taking people from like nothing to that's crazy. So that's how I escalated. So, but everything was like, they asked me for that. It's not like nowadays people open a YouTube, this, I'm like, I do this. Like they just straight away, they see me and they want to have the same thing I have. And it's taking me like over a decade to build that.
So someone who's watching you, you have a really strong social media presence. I think that's one of the, obviously you get a lot of traffic that way. You don't have to pay for it. I mean, that's freaking amazing.
I've actually tried ads, and my take is that it ruins your personal brand.
Yeah.
It ruins it. Like I in a few months I spent over like $500,000 in ads, and it actually ruined me. I was doing the same money, spending money. I'm like, it got to a point like, why I'm doing this same way? I call the guys like, cut it. What? Cut it. But like, no, like I'm not gonna talk like cut it. Like I'm not talking with no one. I said cut it. So I cut it, and the next month I did the same amount of money than the last month, minus like 150K that I was not spending on ads and people. So I'm like, okay, I just up 150K.
Organic is better. I mean, definitely. It's just, I know some people, they can't pull it off, or they're trying to do it faster, right? So for someone who's trying to build what you build, what are maybe a couple tips of things to do or things to avoid in terms of content?
It's very easy, but people just don't like how long it takes. You know, it's just being authentic, being yourself, and being consistent. Like just documenting your day every day and not missing a single day, and putting out there really who you are, what's your life. If you live in a shithole, you show the shithole. You know, if you go in bus, you show the bus. You don't want to like pretend you make more money than what you do. You know, actually be real about it, and that's what it takes. It just nowadays building a personal brand is way faster than before, because when you put a little bit of work, you start getting into like, you know, people that do the same stuff. So you start, you know, getting to other people's, and you just can grow. My advice to build a personal brand the fastest way possible is you open a YouTube, okay? You open an Instagram, and you post every day just your story, your life. Be consistent for like 2 months every day. Build a base, you know what I'm saying? And now invest in someone that has a massive personal brand. It doesn't matter, it's gonna charge you 10K, do it. Because now you're gonna be exposed to like massive audience that if they like you, they'll follow you. And that's a cheat code. That's the fastest way to do it. That's how I get people to get insane results so fast, because they build a base, they come here, they go step by step, then they go into my highest coaching, they get the exposure, you know, and obviously I don't expose people just because they pay me. Actually, if I see they're not ready, I'm not gonna even grab their money.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm not gonna be like, hey, look at this guy, and he's, you know, he just got a loan to get there. Like, the fuck? You wanna just showcase someone that got a loan to be there and doesn't know shit? No. Like, that's why I say no to money all the time. People know me, like, in the Spanish industry. I mean, we all know it's different. Like this, you know, Spain, they know me, bro. Like, they'll be sitting like, this guy said no to 40K, bro. Like, no joke. I was gonna send him 40K. He said, nah, keep it.
So really just more getting associated with people who have big brands, and they can leverage that into building
but
theirs.
focus on you. When you focus on you, build a base, and then invest in like someone that is actually living the life and is who you want to be. You know, obviously you don't want to copy anyone, but it is, you know, has a habits, you know, it lives where you want to live. So get close to that person, because that's the fastest way to get there. I mean, it took me like so look, I'm gonna just lay you down straight facts. Since I started in fitness, okay, or since I started my YouTube, let's say, it probably took me like 8 years or 7 years to buy my dream car, Lambo. Yeah. Okay, it took me 8 years, let's say. I have a student that has done it in 1.
Yeah.
So is he like that much better than me? No, we're all the same. But he just, it's, you know what I'm saying? This is how he did it. You know, he put the work. He had a base. He actually was a filmmaker. He just filmed stuff, and he was doing like 10K a month. He was just doing that. So he came to me, he's like, hey, bro, can you help me? Like, how can I scale this? I'm like, you can teach people how to do that. So let's do it. So he started doing that, and like, he went from 10K to 100K a month. You know, and he bought a Lambo. So, but like, that's the way he did it. The exact way I've told people right now to do it. You know, build a base. You know, obviously, yeah, you gotta have a skill, bro. Do you know how to do ads? Do you know how to train? Do you know how to like pick up girls? Do you know how to like, you know, you have to know how to do something. You can just like, oh, I'm a content creator. Like, the fuck is that? You know what? This is not gonna make money doing that. Are you good doing podcast setup? Are you good like building a massive podcast? Like, you build a massive podcast, now you can teach people how to build a massive podcast. You know, like you can teach people, it's a massive shortcut, but you gotta know how to do something. I got people that are good at BMX, that have BMX riders that is actually teaching people how to do BMX. You can teach really anything.
I didn't know it took you that long. Yeah. I think that's humbling for people because they usually just see the top of the mountain. They don't see everything below that. So the fact that you posted on, I think you said 6 years before you got results.
Yeah.
It's humbling, I think, because even when I'm doing stuff, I think we all have the things we want to do. We want to progress. Sometimes I'm like, fuck, I should be getting results faster because I've done these things in the past. And I think that's one of the keys to success is just being fucking persistent.
The key is doing something that you love, bro, because like if not, you're gonna end up quitting. If your motivator is money, you're always going to quit.
Yeah.
Always. You will do something else. You can do the rest of your life something that you're just doing for money. And I understand because I've done that, Maybe it will take you a long time to discover what you like doing. But like when I discovered fitness was my thing, I'm like, I'm doing fitness. And this was when no one did money as a fitness coach. So it's not like, oh, I'm doing fitness because people make money. No one, like fitness trainer is a broke guy.
Yeah, I mean, I just did it because I thought that was the only thing I could do and still do fitness because I loved it. I was like, but I don't want to work in a gym.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I did it. Okay, so I want to transition into something I find fascinating about you, and I think it can help higher value guys. Value guys, maybe they make a lot of money, they're jacked, whatever. So, as far as I see you, there's a lot of guys I see, but in terms of overall package, you make a lot of money, you're a good looking dude, you're jacked, you're disciplined, like you seem to have it all. You have a lot of options that maybe others don't, and you've been married for a long time. And something that I learned about you and I find interesting is at some point in your relationship, I think you were married maybe 4 years or something.
8 years married.
8 years you've been married, but I think halfway through it, I heard a story where you said you started introducing other girls into the relationship. And so I want to first start with why, and then we're going to have some ongoing questions with that.
Yeah, I think it happens always, bro. It's like everything. When it's new, my wife was my second girlfriend, so I only had 2 girlfriends.
Oh, wow.
Second one in marriage.
Did you grow up like super religious?
No, when I grew up, I was focused in racing, and then my dad went broke, so I gotta go and make money.
Right.
So I'm not like focusing go and get some chicks in the club because I'm just trying to pay for rent, So I didn't have my whole face, like a smashing chicks face or anything, So that's one of the way. But like, so I married my girl after 2 years, and it was the first time I started to like, oh shit. I'm kind of like have thoughts of
thinking about.
I want to do stuff with that chick, like, oh, I meet this chick at the gym and she's like talking to me and like, oh damn, like she's hot, Obviously, I'm driving a Lambo now, like it's just like it comes to you, bro. You see this chick on Instagram, she's so hot. You click on it, she's following you. I'm like, dude. She's following me, follow back, and she's liking my shit. I'm like, she's like smashing her, like she's like, oh shit, she lives in. So that shit starts to happen.
She lives down the street.
Yeah, or even who cares? I'll just get a flight. Yeah. What the fuck is a flight, bro? It's like, so the thing is like that thing starts to happen. So me, as I am, I can't lie, bro. So I just sit down my wife in the couch and I'm like, look, babe, this is what's going on. I just now have thoughts of like smashing just chicks, I don't know what's going on. So, long story short, it's not like, people are like, oh, what did she say? I don't remember, bro, what did she say? But we talked about it, So step by step, we start like, introducing other girls, we start like having fun, we always have problems and here, then now ups, downs, start to have conditions, all this, But that thing went on and on, But the thing is that you realize at the end of it's just so deep at the end, bro. But like in my case, I didn't experience that, So I had to go through it, So I had to go through all that, like chicks and like having fun with chicks that like you always see on Instagram, for example. It's funny, like I used to follow this chick for like, bro, like years before meeting my wife. I saw this chick on Instagram and she was in the US, I was in Spain. I was like, oh, like, you know what I'm saying? Like mega crush, like always. And then like it got to a point where like I was like, we were actually following each other, and then we actually lived close by. So, stuff like that happened, men and stuff. So you have to. I feel like you just gotta experience it. Like if you are married, and you feeling that. I mean, it's gonna be hard not to like go to that. Because if you resist yourself, sooner or later you're just gonna come back again.
Did you worry you were going to get resentful? Like like my question is, when you had this convo with her, one, was she okay with it, or is she like, no?
It's a process. So first of all, it's not like at the start she was like completely against it, because in my point of view, how I view it, obviously there's two types of girls. There's the girls that like to have fun with girls, not has to be that they're lesbian, but we own, and then the girls that are like anti-girls, so if you're one of those girls, like forget about it. Like that's just not gonna work. You know what I'm saying? So in my point of view, that happens when the girl is like she doesn't have self-esteem. When the girl is like no self-esteem, that's why they are very against that. Because as a girl, you have to build your confidence up to be able to let another hot chick,
of course,
come in. Because they always, of course, they're gonna be like, what if he likes her? And now they go, and I'm left alone. That's always gonna be. So as an advice for men, you're gonna have to make your woman the queen. I've done that mistake. The new thing, the chick, the threesome, like, and now I'm only looking at her, like, and I'm only paying her attention. So now, like, a few days go by and my wife is mad. I'm like, what's going on? But like, we everything was cool, but like, oh yeah, but like, you were not even paying me attention. And I'm like, okay, she's right. And then like, you just gotta like, shit, like you gotta like be conscious about it. It's a process. It requires us building a business, a lot of time and a lot of work, but it's something that I think every man is gonna experience.
What would you tell a guy to do if he has those feelings and let's say his wife isn't okay with it? So does he go through with that, or would you advise him not to do it?
I would never advise a guy to do stuff against his wife, against the will of his wife. I've never done that. So I've never like forced my wife to do anything. If she was not cool with it, I would not do it. Because what happens is that if you, and this is majority of men out there, we're talking about obviously people with money, because guys with options, they have to make money. They have to be able to, to just take this chick's dinner, whatever, so you got to make money to have options, right? So when you're in those situations, usually guys will just like do it without asking or anything to their wives. So now that's cheating, so that's doing on the back. So what happens there is just you start building like, how do you say in English? You start to feel, you regret that.
Regretful.
And then you like, the last thing I wanted to do is like go to sleep with my wife and have to look at her in the face, knowing that I smashed another chick that she doesn't know, and I know it, and this is in my mind. And you're never going to be able to escape that.
If she said no, would you have left, or would you have stayed and dealt with it?
There's been points that I tell her, like, look, this is going to be this way. If you don't like it, that's the door. I've been like that. It's been points that I've done that.
What would you tell a guy in that situation? Because some girls are not going to do it, right?
So if the guy is completely, he knows he wants to do that, just speak with it and speak it. Hey, we're going to try it. We're not going to try it. I'm going to try by myself. I'm not going to try by myself. But always, both parties know everything, and if that goes, try it. And if she just doesn't want to do it, don't try to force it very fast, okay? This is something that has to take a little bit of time, Don't try to do it one day to another. Like, watch this podcast, like, lay it down and like, hey, fuck up. Like, shit doesn't work like that, okay? But if you see that it's not going to happen and you want to try it, be like, okay, so we're just going to have to part ways, Because then you cannot be scared, bro. As a man, if you want to experience stuff that your chick doesn't want, well, just fucking we'll go each ways, bro. If that you just being selfish because you want to just have her there,
right?
While you experience that,
right?
You don't want to just drop it, experience it, and if you don't like it, come back. If you guys are meant to be together, you're always gonna like join back in the future. But if it's not gonna work, bro, a relationship is not gonna work if you want to try stuff that she doesn't want to try, and you just keep going there. Now you're being selfish because you're holding there in a position where that sooner or later it's gonna come back, and it's not gonna be good.
So overall, your advice and we'll get to like why you stopped and all those types of things next. But overall, your advice would be, if it's something you really want to do and you're honest about it and she won't go for it and you have to make a decision, it's
And
like,
speak it with time, with time, and just speak it, calmly, And the thing, my advice, the main difference I've seen in myself and the rest of men, because I'm very social. I used to be, because now everyone just like stab you, So I don't have really friends, bro. Like, I mean, my students, my top students are my family. I don't just hang out with other people. I hang out with my people, because at the end of the day, it's a way of like building a thing. Okay, they don't drink, they don't do this, they have the same purpose. So you
values.
actually build the same. Yeah. The coaching is the best thing to actually find family, So my wife is my best friend. That's the difference. Guys have a best friend guy, And when I started dating my wife, she would go out with her friends, and I would go out with my friends. And when I would go out with my friends, one common thing is that my friends will never speak about their girlfriends, if they had, and I would just constantly bring it up. And my friends were like,
you would bring up why they didn't talk about it?
No. I bring up
yours.
I would just, we would meet chicks, and I would just like say something about my wife.
Oh yeah.
But not like just constantly, because I have her so present.
Yeah.
Like I will see my friends, they will be just one face with their wives. And when they're with me, they're like, no, with their wives, they're like, kids, this guy hasn't even touched a fucking fly. This is the best guy you just meet in your life, just pushing the fucking kid in the park. Like, hey, Peter, like this guy is like, he's the best guy ever, right? The nicest guys are the worst guys. The guy will tell you like, fuck off to your face, you're a fucking douchebag. That's a good guy. He's gonna actually tell you what he thinks, The nice guy doesn't say anything. He's the worst one, So these guys in party will just like desperately be looking for pussy. Like, I gotta fuck this night, because like this is my, and like, dude.
And that's
What's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I would not say that, but so with me, my friends are like, bro, you act the same way with your wife. I mean, I'll take my wife with my boys. Like, I'll be like, yo, like I'll be partying with my wife, like, holy shit, check out that ass. That's fucking crazy. I'll literally, since day one, I was always like that with my wife. So when my wife met me, I was seeing a stripper of the year and another girl, and I would tell her, like, it's just, that's why it took it so long for me. She took a long time for me to take me serious, because she thought I was a player. I'm like, I mean, I'm just normal, right?
Honest,
I mean, I'm just honest. Like, just guys have never told you.
You like
this
say
shit.
what you think versus
Exactly.
hold it inside.
So it took
right?
her a long time, like probably like 3-4 months, for her to take me serious. But the fact is that I was gonna do like my first threesome in my life with a stripper and like her friends strippers. But I met her, and this was 2 days after meeting her, with just no kissing or anything. And I said no, just because I was so committed to her, just by meeting her. So my advice to guys is, your wife has to be your best friend, or your girlfriend has to be your best friend. This is something that your guy friends are gonna be like, oh, that's being don't do that. You gotta listen to him. Then you end up like him. You want to build the best relationship with your wife. Well, you gotta be honest, bro. You don't build a good. If I'm lying to you right now, I will not build a good relationship with you. Maybe it'll look like. Sooner or later, the dirt is gonna fucking go up, bro. You see some shit there. You hear, oh, that guy said to that guy, and you'll be like, bam,
Yeah, well, I respect you for your answer. And the reason I asked you is, as I was coming up in the industry and I had a lot of options, I would ask guys, and I said, what do you do with this? Some guys are like, oh, I just cheat, bro, just cheat.
Yeah, no.
And I was like, that never felt good to me. I have some guys who would say, just deal with it. And I was like, okay. And then I saw a few guys who would do what you were doing. And so I do think higher value guys struggle with that. I think most guys know they shouldn't lie, but I think a lot of guys struggle with, if they're really in love with their girl and she says no, now they have to make a decision.
But the thing is that, as you can see, obviously you've seen, previously how I lived, and obviously the girls I will hang out with, they're like, the hottest chicks. Yeah. And they're attracted to a man that is not scared of saying the truth. So actually, when you say the truth, they actually admire that.
Yeah, like
they actually, no, this guy has balls. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's actually saying the truth. But guys are scared. They'll just be scared. They're just scared to say the truth. That's why I don't say it. So real men are not scared to say the truth.
Even if you're afraid of what you're gonna lose, you feel it's just
bro, I've told my wife sometimes stuff I knew was gonna destroy her heart, but it was what I felt, and I had to tell her. Sometimes I felt stuff for a chick, and I told her, and that destroyed her heart. But like it was what I was feeling in that point, and like as I say, my marriage every year just better and better and better and better and better. It just gets closer and closer and closer and closer. It's just like I say this many times and people go nuts. Like a marriage is like a business. Like you gotta like work in it. You gotta be honest, with your people. Like for example, I took when I was in Vegas, I took my Aventador to a shop to do a wrap. They wrapped it. I was gonna do delivery of it like at 2 p.m. It was like 12, and the guy calls me. It's like, bro, I just the car was finished. I parked it. I left and I didn't put the brakes, so it just rolled off and it just hit the toe of this truck. So literally the ball of the truck just went through the bumper, and the guy called me and he's like telling me all this, and when he finishes, obviously he was expecting for me to just like be like screaming at him. It's like, can you fix that? And it's like, I mean, the guy's like kind of surprised, like, yeah, I can fix it. Okay, so fix it. If you don't fix it, we'll just replace it. Is that cool? Yeah. The guy was like, he did that. It's like, bro, I've been doing this for like 20, 30 years. I've never dealt with someone like you. Say, bro, I mean, what can we do? I appreciate that he's honest. I would, anyone would just say, oh, I'm late on the wrap. Now he just like buying some shit and just taping that shit off, or like even like rewrapping it with a hole, putting some plaster. So I appreciate you being honest. Like, hey, it could have happened to me. So that's an example of business of being honest. And he gained actually my business. I trusted him.
That's hard. That's hard to do, by the way.
It's hard to do.
That's very hard to stay.
That's why always you gotta focus in building your best self, because a man that has the best habits, no drugs, is in shape, is the man that's actually not scared to say the truth.
You recently stopped doing that, from what I've seen on social media.
Probably like 100 days. I know because I did a video not long ago, like 90 days or something like that.
Yeah, I was surprised to see it.
Funny thing is that I was doing a story one day. It's like I was gonna say, and I didn't know how many days I've been without girls. So I asked my wife, hey babe, how many days I've been without Latinas? And she's like, oh, 90. I'm like, hey guys, it's been 90 days without chicks. And I was convinced because I don't know, I live in my space. For me, like a week can be like a year. When I moved into this new mansion, it's been a month and it looked like a year because I've done like a million things, so it looks like a year for me. So I posted, and as soon as he posted the story, this one of my top students is laughing. It's like, bro, you barely done 30 days. I'm like, oh shit, it looks like a fucking year, bro. Because I'll probably be already with 4 more, So
the question I have is like, what made you stop?
God, like it just so clear. Like, I was with the last one, it's a Colombian chick, and I just felt everything so bad. I just felt inside me, bro, like so bad, like so much karmic debt. Like just that day was a shit day just because of that. Even though my wife was cool, everything was cool, but my day was just shit day. I could not just have a good day because all the karmic debt you have, like people don't understand, like, okay, so cheating and doing stuff like that, even if your wife knows, just doing stuff that you should not be doing, your conscience is telling you not to do it, because even me with my wife, we're cool. But when that happened, after, I finished, I just wanted to leave. I just didn't want to be there, So that's your conscience, like, you don't want to be there. So that's always it's gonna create karmic debt. It's gonna like actually punish you not being able to be working completely. You just like have your mind there. So your mind is not fully on where you are.
I understand what you're
saying.
So
then how much further in life, you have a big weight on your life it's not letting you really go to your full potential. So when you cheat or you do stuff like that, you're actually hindering your progress so much, bro. And actually, people always ask me how you did it, right? It's wisdom.
But and to clarify, when you say cheat, like you're still saying she may know about it, but do you still clarify that as cheating?
Yeah, because me, I started to get closer and closer and closer to God. You know, so you know, I would read, you know, the Bible and everything, and I would be aligned with everything. But then when he would speak about women, you know, it'd be like, no, women out of your marriage. Like women out of your marriage is gonna take you to death. And I'm like, what the fuck? You know, I just like go past that one. You know, I'm like, I'm just gonna leave this one out. You know, I'm just gonna keep going with the suffering. And like, yeah, I just fucking, tell me not to sleep, bro. I'll not sleep. You know, but like, don't take me that away. You know, don't take me that away. So I was always going away. It gets to a point you can't hide, bro. You know, it just grows so much you can't hide. So one day, as you say, my wife was traveling with her family, so I was with a chick, and I brought her for like maybe 5 days. After 2 days, I didn't even see her more, bro. I just couldn't do it. And I called my wife. I'm like, I'm done. She's like, what do you mean? It's like, no more chicks. She's like, what? So I can't do it. I just had a shit day. Too obvious. I gotta stop. And I have a student that he's how you say in English, a pastor.
A pastor.
Yeah, he's a pastor.
Yeah.
And he would never force me. People say, it's like, bro, like, you know, the day that you do that, you're just gonna go to another level. I'm like, I speak with him, say, hey, I took the decision, and it's like, and as soon as I took that decision in my heart, because I don't know men that are watching me or you, but when I say I'm doing this,
Yeah,
I'm doing
it. You're doing it.
Like if I decide I'm dropping my wife right now, that's it. I'm dropping my wife. I don't care like what she say or what the world says. I said it to myself. So that's why I'm really careful before I tell something to myself, because when I say it, I gotta do it. You know, if I go to the gym, I'm like, I'm gonna do 1,000 pull-ups. I mean, I'm doing it because I've never not done something that I told myself I'm gonna do. That's why I'm so confident in myself. So in my heart, I'm like, it's done. So actually, I got the phone and I told my millions of people, I'm done with chicks. So it's not even like me, it's like the pressure of like, I'm committing to everyone before I even know if I can do it. But I committed. So that's, you gotta operate from the spirit, you know, like it was not even like hard for me. It was harder for me to stop cocaine like 2-3 years ago. Now, obviously I'm in the gym, I see a hot chick, I'm like, even my wife will bring her more like, hey, look at that one. I'm like, yeah, don't like, she's like, don't bring friends or anything. Like, I just, you know, I don't want them at home, like, you know, but like, I'll see her. I mean, yes, it's hot, but like, I'll just look around and just forget about it. I'm not even like thinking about it, you know, but it takes time. Everything is wisdom, bro. The wiser you get, you know, the more you get into like, there's only one source of wisdom, bro. You know, it's like cocaine. Let's say wisdom is like cocaine. You know, there's only one source of wisdom. If I only listen to people that are actually hundreds of years ago. Like, I only listen to this guy, bro. Like, Jesus Christ. This is my only coach right now. Like, I only listen to this guy. If this guy says no chicks, no chicks. I don't even actually question it, you know? Because everything that I've done that he said, it's just taking me to another level. When I stop, bro, like, it's like before this, like a few weeks before or after this, I had like 13 cars, okay? And the same, my conscience was like, because my conscience and your conscience is the authentic voice of God. So I had 13 cars and I was like, why do I have 13 cars, bro? You know, like I really just want to use these 5, you know? Yeah. But like I still have them. So then like, why? It's like your ego. It's like, look at my 13 cars, you know? It's not for you, it's for them.
Others, right?
So again, that was something I was escaping for a long time until like, fuck it, I'm selling. So I sold 6 cars. And I call my guys like 6 tow trucks, like fucking take them all. You know, like I don't even like put them on sale. Like, what do you give me for all package, bro? Bam, like just get them away from me. So that's how I do everything. So that took me to another level. Chicks took me to another level. And like, I raised my level spiritually. And that's the only way. Wisdom is the answer to everything. Oh, I was talking about wisdom. So wisdom is like cocaine, right? There's only one source, okay? Real cocaine was like Colombia, whatever, right? 1 gram of cocaine. That's it. There's no other way, right? So now someone buys that shit, right? So now it's half, right? So now 1 gram is like actually half. So now buy. So like half. So like it gets when it gets to you here, what the fuck you have, right? You don't have the whole package, right? Wisdom is the same shit. There's only one source. You know, like everything you see is created by God's word. Like who created water? Who created the earth?
Yeah, God.
Who created the air? Like that's the source. Okay, so people like really what you see is not real. What's real is what you don't see. So check this out. What we see was created by what we don't see. We cannot see God, and He created what we see, right? So the source is that. So now, you know, hundreds of years ago, someone got that and just got this perspective of that, right? And now that was passed to that and to that and to that. Now you got your parents' perspective. That's your wisdom and your circle. Is that real wisdom? Nah. So you gotta actually subtract. So what I've done all these years is like take away shit, take away shit, take away shit. So now if you see me speak and act, it's very different to the rest of the people. But every time I'm closer to the actual source, you know? So I'm actually subtracting. The more I subtract, the more peaceful I am.
Was it just a feeling then? Was it just a culmination of feeling over time that made you feel like it's like, all right, I'm done? Was it a feeling?
Yeah, bro, because I've always listened. I mean, at that time, I didn't know even what it was a conscience, you know, but I've always listened to myself. That's why I went to Australia. That's why I dropped college. You know, everyone was telling me to finish college and I dropped. Why? Something was telling me, you know. No one told me to go to Australia and I just went. Why? Something was telling me. So I've always been guided by my conscience, you know, but I was not conscious of that, you know. I just did it unconsciously, right? But every time I'm more conscious about stuff, that's why I can like speak with someone and understand what they're doing wrong, you know, because I'm actually aware of what they're doing wrong. You know, I just gone through that. I'm constantly coaching people. So through coaching people, I'm remembering myself their own shit, you know, that I will actually forget about if I'm not coaching people.
Well, dude, I really appreciate you being willing to talk about that. A lot of people will not. It's
yeah, I mean, they will not, and they haven't really experienced it, or they don't know how to do it, because the real reality is that all men want to do that. You know, I've been there, and I'm not trying to say that you guys don't have to do it. I mean, bro, I've been in a 105-foot yacht with 4 chicks. You know, like that was my dream. But like that trip, I probably spent nearly $200K in that trip. Mm-hmm. I didn't enjoy anything.
Why?
Because I was empty, bro. People think that's you know, that's you made it, right? Wow, I enjoy more riding my bicycle with my wife to grab a coffee, which cost me like $6. I swear to God, man. Oh, I haven't said that in years, but like it's just the truth. It's the truth, bro. I don't lie. I don't have any reason to lie. I don't hide from anything, bro. Like I've been close to death many times, and I just experienced peace. So I'm not scared of death. Death is actually you becoming free. You know, but the real judgment comes after death. You know, if you have actually done bad shit, it's not gonna be one or more. It's not gonna be good, bro. So actually, I don't fear death. I don't fear criticism. So it's just I'm actually free because I speak. So basically, what people have to do is like what you think. So right now, you're looking at me, you're thinking something. This guy with the camera is thinking something. You that are watching, you're thinking something. So whatever you think, you got to actually be able to say it. So that's the first step, aligning your thoughts with your words. And that's something that very few people do. Like, I mean, it's very rare.
Yeah.
Because it requires, when you actually do that, what's going to happen is that all your life is going to fall apart. Because you build a fake life. Fake relationships, fake business, fake everything. Like, if you actually grab the fucking call and speak with your customers, say what you want to say, because you will tell them to fuck off probably, you know? So that's very hard by itself, but actually then thoughts align with words, align with action. That's hard because you can say, oh, I'm going to go to the gym. Go to the gym. You know, because people say what they say is what they want to be. Their actions actually reveal who they are. You know, so you align thoughts, word, action, and the key ingredient, which is faith. With faith, and you can literally, any thought, it can become a reality. Like Richard Mille, mansion, my thoughts when I met my wife, one of the first things I told her, kind of joking, but I told her like, hey, one day we're gonna be flying a private jet with more hot chicks. And she's like, ha ha ha, yeah. I'm like, we're gonna do it, and I did it, you know. So that was a thought I had like when I met her, and I was broke, bro, and I did it a reality. I literally don't. The problem I have right now is actually finding a reason to live, because I don't have any moral thoughts I want to make a reality. You know, right now I just look for peace and being a kid. You know, so I just bought a jet ski that makes me feel like a kid. So I just fucking did that. You know, but that's the thing. That's why I submerge myself in other people, because if I start thinking about myself, oh, life is shit. Because when you think about yourself, everything is shit.
Dude, thanks for sharing. If people want to find you, where's the best place they can go?
So English is I am Llados with 2 L's. That's my YouTube. I'm pretty much uploading every day now, and that's my Instagram. I am Llados.
Awesome. Thanks for coming, man.
Yeah, bro. Appreciate it, bro. Nice to meet you,
bro.